Hey guys, Kirk here from Rampart Gear. Today I have something that is very unique and I think somewhat of a rare knife to show you. And that's a Strider SMF CuBe or copper beryllium blade. Now, what this is it's an older model of a Strider, but talking about the blade specifically, it is a copper beryllium blade. And you'd say, well, why would you need a blade that is actually made from copper beryllium, or some people call it beryllium copper? Well, this knife has a very specific design for it that had to meet certain criteria of the military. And the criteria for this knife was that it needed to be used by either Marine or Navy or Army EOD guys. And what they need to do, the reason why they needed copper beryllium is because the copper beryllium blade does not spark and is not magnetic. So when you look at the knife, neither is the titanium side. Now the titanium side is not magnetic, but I did notice that because of the screws, those would be magnetic. But if you're doing work with explosives, whether it be, I don't know if you're trying to do detecting or you're trying to actually cut something or even get a metal object, somewhat of a type of metal object near possibly a magnetic mine, you need to have something that is non-magnetic. So the copper beryllium was settled on for some reason, and it's a very unique look. It obviously has that copper color to it like that, and it's not a coating on top of a steel blade. It is not a steel blade, but it is actually copper beryllium. Now you can even tell that it is when you look at the kind of the reflection of the actual edge bevel, and you can kind of see that copper beryllium or that copper color like that, kind of a bronze looking color. The knife is still, I mean, besides the blade material, it is still 100% Strider SMF, Lego style, as far as it's not a CC, but it still says Strider on here, and it has a Strider logo like that. Has all the same attributes of a Strider SMF. One thing that's different is it actually has the hinderer disc on it rather than just a plain disc or anything else like that. So the actual over travel button or the lock bar button itself actually says hinderer on it. Still has all the same attributes, like I said, of a regular SMF. Now, I spoke with Josh by email, Josh over at Strider Knives, good guy. But two things about this knife to kind of caution you about. This knife is not intended to be used for food prep or to be used for other things that deal with food, because you don't want to consume any of the copper beryllium particles that may transfer off or come off or scraped off onto food. You don't want to consume that. The other thing it's not recommended is for you to actually go through and sharpen this blade. So I think that if you had this knife and maybe you're an EOD guy, it's recommended that the knife is sent back to Strider and they do the sharpening on it. I don't know if it's kept in some type of enclosure to keep it safe, but you really don't want to breathe in any types of material that coming off of this copper beryllium itself. Now, another thing that Josh pointed out was that when you look at a normal blade like this is an S30V as far as the blade steel, and I think the Rockwell, the RC or the Rockwell hardness could be maybe 60. I'm not a Rockwell hardness guy, but maybe a 60 or a 61 or a 59, somewhere a pretty hard steel. But he told me that on this knife, it's actually, the Rockwell hardness is 50 or a little bit under. So it's a little bit softer blade. But it is such a unique looking knife, and it is such a unique part of Strider history and their dedication to military and military folks. And I think it was just a great piece. Very, very happy with it. And I thought I might share this with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care and have a good day.